it's horrible, but it is really neat to get to see in real time a martyr get created.
Yeah.
And it's just this insane outpouring of love, the vigils, the memorials, the people being drawn to Turning Point USA, the people being drawn to church. Like, I haven't seen one guy have such a massive impact for good. Maybe my whole life. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Elliot Omanson Show with Elliot Omanson.
Dave Vossman.
This is going to be an interesting one today.
Yeah.
I think we had literally just filmed last week's, and then someone that I'm fortunate enough to actually be able to call. I hate to call him a friend. It was more me to him than him to me because he's, has an insane network of people vying for his attention and trying to piggyback off his coattails, but I did have his number in my phone, and I actually went back through my last text messages to him where I took a comment he had made that I thought was pretty hilarious and put it into a T-shirt. And I was just telling him on my way home I was taking that comment and making T-shirt ideas and sent it to him, and we were just laughing about it. It was a pretty hilarious comment. That oddly enough kind of ties in with the shooter. And obviously I'm talking about Charlie Kirk, but, and obviously taken out of context, this probably wouldn't sound great, but he had made a comment about not being a Marxist tranny. And I thought that would make a great T-shirt or bumper sticker.
I'd say so.
and we weren't, yeah. And so I don't know. I didn't even, like, there's so much talked about this. Like, I didn't know if I even really wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, like, as far as like the details of everything that happened last week, I think most people already know.
Yeah. And so I think it'd be good to talk about some of the aspects of it that aren't necessarily being talked about. I love what you have up here on our list of stuff. Are we going to start with him and then go to Luigi?
Yeah. Yeah. We can start with Charlie Kirk. And I didn't really add much up here about the details because I think a lot of people know it, and they already have that Tyler Robinson guy in custody.
I love. Is that the Greg Gutfield video where he talks about how you can't possibly equate the killing of Greg Gutfield to that woman? Is that the video?
Yeah.
And he lists all the reasons. Is an incredible video.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. There's a longer one too,
Yes.
but this is a slightly condensed. Just over a minute long. Beforehand, I had a 4-minute video, but that was probably maybe a little too much. But yeah, this is because she's comparing to Melissa Hortman.
Yes.
Which was earlier this year by a guy named, I think, Vance Bolter.
Okay.
And then
and to me, it's like, why aren't you also talking about the two left-wing politicians in Minnesota that got killed by the anti-abortion activist? Like, all those deaths are tragic and horrible and shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
What's up with Melissa Hortman that makes her be the one that this woman picks out?
Well, I think she does. I think Jessica Tarloff here is kind of.
I mean, she just needed somebody to use as the example.
Yeah, like I don't think she's necessarily singling out Melissa Hortman here, and she might even throw out a couple of their names.
Okay.
I think Greg Gutfield's part of his point is just
his point's rock solid.
Yeah, and part of it is just that, like, I hate to say it, but like Charlie Kirk is like
he's
just more influential.
He's a national and almost global leader.
Yeah.
Right? He's not someone no one's heard of.
Yeah. I mean, because again, and Greg Gutfield obviously isn't saying that Melissa Hortman and whoever else not important, but it's just
no,
like,
of course not.
It just
he's not saying it's not tragic. He's not saying it's not wrong.
you just never heard of her.
You just never heard of her.
Before.
She wasn't a worldwide leader, right? She wasn't a civil rights icon. And come at me for calling Charlie Kirk a civil rights icon all you want. He was.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to be black to be a civil rights icon. You don't have to be Latinx, whatever insane title leftists have come up with for Latinos, to be a civil rights icon. Charlie Kirk was an absolute civil rights icon. And a global leader, as evidenced by the marches in South Korea and London, the vigils around the world.
Yeah.
But here, play the video.
It wasn't school indoctrination. Kerry Lake went off on that. He was in an online apprenticeship program at Dixie Technical College, which I don't think was changed.
I would just note the family
but
said
they
he
didn't say
changed.
when he changed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we need
said
more
he articulated
information
his
before
hate
you
for Charlie
smear.
Kirk at a dinner
Before you
We don't need more information.
Really?
Yes, we
Okay.
don't need it. What is interesting here is why is only this happening on the left and not the right? That's all we need to know.
What about
There's
Vance
absolutely
Pilcher?
no cognitive.
What about Melissa Hortman that we just
okay, you want to
talked
talk about Melissa Hortman? Did you know her name before it happened? None of us did. None of us were spending every single day talking about Mrs. Hortman. I never heard of her until after she died.
She doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit with me. You know what I'm saying is there was no demonization, amplification about that woman before she died. It was a specific crime against her by somebody who knew her. The same. Now you could bring up Josh Shapiro, but then you will not bring up, for example, that was a pro-Palestine person. So don't use your. What about this? The fact of the matter is the both sides argument not only doesn't fly, we don't care. We don't care about your both sides argument. That shit is dead. For one thing.
And he goes on for another few minutes like that.
Yeah, and so go back to his line. There was an amplification and demonization.
Yeah, I think that's his main point there.
Yes. You did not know her name. Of course, it's tragic, but it's someone that knew her that killed her. Yeah. I think a better example would have been the two Democrat couples. I think the guy killed both couples, right? Like their husband and wives in Minnesota.
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty sure Melissa Hortman's spouse is also killed then.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, I think his like biggest point is that like Charlie Kirk was killed because of the rhetoric around him, and just I think a lot of the stuff they says taken out of context, and just like these echo chambers are just fueling this hatred towards one side and towards one person.
And so that's what I would like to get into, right? Because over and over and over, you hear that it's like 97% of the violence in America that's ideologically based, you are told is right-wing, far-right, right nationalists, or white supremacist groups. Okay? If it's happening at a 95% to 3% ratio, where is it all? Who are they?
Good question. I have heard, similar statistics. Yeah.
So I tried really hard to research this. Okay? And you have organizations like the Southern Poverty Law Center and others that are the ones that are left-wing. I think they're left-wing hate groups that are the ones measuring, tracking, and reporting and publishing on this. And so there's something really interesting. If you go in to look at, the BLM Summer of Love of 2020 after George Floyd died of an overdose, and you look at there was, depending on who's tracking it, there was 22 to 25 people that died that summer around America. 2 of those deaths are classified as right-wing extremist murders. What about the other 23? What about the other 20? Depending on, like I said, there's 22 to 25 depending on who you're tracking, right? All the rest of them are just classified as civil unrest related deaths. Well, who the fuck's causing the civil unrest? But they're not classified as left-wing ideologically driven deaths. Really? So it's like the standard, the organizations that are creating the standards of measuring. It's like the judge that decided Luigi Mangeloni wasn't domestic terrorism. Okay. And I don't know, do you have the ruling and why he excluded it as domestic terrorism?
Yeah, let's see. We got an article.
Yeah, tosses terrorism charges.
From AP News.
Yeah, so let's go down and look at what the rationale was. Intended to evoke terror.
Yeah, he rejected the theory that it intended.
You shoot and kill a CEO in the back with engravings on your bullet casings, like clearly showing that like these people should be murdered. Like how? Like you don't think that caused every other healthcare CEO to stop walking down the street?
Yeah, in my opinion, like I'm not really sure how if this isn't terrorism. Like I don't know exactly where you would draw the line.
Yeah, and so this is the deal. When you have a bunch of left-wing people getting to frame the argument and determine the definitions, which they change all the time in order to fit whatever they want. I mean, like they literally say he's a cause celeb for people upset with the health insurance industry. That's 6% of our whole fucking economy. And you're waging war on them. That's not terrorism?
Definitely seems like it's a meme.
I mean, what percentage of the population is Jewish? And if I go attack Jew, that's a smaller percentage of the population, and that would be considered, as it should be, hate crime and terrorism towards Jewish people.
Yeah, because, I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong, but my interpretation of the definition of terrorism is like violent acts or threats to kind of prove a political point.
Yeah.
And this is exactly that. I mean, you're killing the CEO of I think the largest health health provider in the entire world. I mean, you look at their stock, their market cap, even now after it's dropped so much, still hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And like you said, like on everything he's like shooting and stuff, it's got these messages that's completely politically motivated.
Oh,
and,
100% politically motivated.
And then he's got this group of supporters too.
Yeah.
That are backing him.
A huge group.
And I just don't see how that's not.
You have a huge group of supporters backing him and attacking someone who has never directly harmed anyone. You only have to, through the left-wing mentality of creating microaggressions and words are violence and, not stealing money from one group to pay for healthcare to another is violence against the other group kind of rationale in order to determine that a healthcare CEO is harming anyone.
And yeah, it is mind-boggling too, because kind of like if you go back to the idea of, I was just talking about their stock and their market cap. If you go through their financial statements, they bring in hundreds of billions of dollars of revenue a year, but then you look at the amount of profit they're making.
Yeah.
And it's pretty small.
Yeah. What do you have a percentage?
Let's go and look them up. It's a very small.
I guarantee you it's not even 10.
Because look at this. Their last quarter revenue. I'll just pull up Yahoo Finance. I'm pretty sure they had like $111 billion last quarter of revenue, which is an absurd amount of revenue. And yeah, people who don't know how to read like a financial statement, they're like, oh, they're making so much money. Well, it's because they're so big.
Which would be everybody that thinks like Luigi Mangeloni doesn't know how to fucking read a financial statement.
Look at this. The profit margin is 5%.
Yeah, 5%. 5%. You're bent on 5%. 5.
And I just don't know how you
5%. 5% is the crime of capitalism.
Yeah. And like I understand that, people like a Luigi Mangione and his supporters are going to be in favor of a single payer health, care system, and they want that to be taxpayer funded. So I understand that idea, but you're going after the CEO of this company on a company that operates on a 5% profit margin. And like, what do you want them to do? Because we are, it's capitalism.
They shouldn't have any profit. That's what they want them to do.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, like, let's go ahead. Like, if you really want to do something, let's keep pushing for your taxpayer-funded health insurance. But you can't really go after these specific companies.
Well, it's not hard to go across the border up north and live in Canada and get your free health care. But anyways, let's go back to, there was something she said in there that I wanted to comment on. Can you go back and play
Jessica
her?
Tarlov?
Yeah.
We'll start at the beginning.
Okay, yeah, stop right there. It wasn't school indoctrination. And her rationale for that is because he spent one semester in a college. All right. You don't have kids yet. I am in. Okay. Let me just cover a few stories that I personally took in. Okay. I'm at an international baccalaureate elementary school in Texas. I have to go for some bullshit back to school night or parent thing, and they have these kids come out on stage and do a presentation. And they had made, you'd have one of the older kids and one of the younger kids, and they had made faces of different animals out of paper plates. And then they would step forward and give you some facts about these animals, okay? And most of the animals are in Africa. And they were all about the shrinking environments and the endangeredness of these animals. And then the last kid stepped forward and talked about how we as America should go to Africa and impose our will on them in order to prevent these animals from being harmed. And I was sitting there going, what the fuck are you talking about right now? This is being taught to children in elementary school. I go with my daughter in 3rd grade. They have this program. This is a different school. That was in Texas. This is now in Kansas. I go to one of my other daughters to an elementary school where the dads come in and we help the teachers in the room and whatever. And I'm in the library. The teacher's going down the list of books the kids get to read for the year. And there's a list. It's a list provided by KU, Kansas University, and it's pumped out to all the elementary schools throughout the state of Kansas. There's one black boy in this entire group in the library, and he's pretty energetic, coolest little kid. This librarian was up his ass like white on rice the entire time. Just constantly on him. All while presenting the list of 10 books that the kids have to pick from, and the more of them they read, the more points they get. And if they get to a certain amount of points, they're rewarded. Now, what do you think the topics of these books were? This is fucking 3rd grade.
I probably don't even want to know.
How the white man harmed natives, how the white man hurt the black people, how the white man hurts the LGBT community, how the white man fucks over the environment. Every single book minus 1 or 2 was clearly anti-white and clearly pro some niche minority group. Being forced on elementary kids through coercion and manipulation. All while, and you could tell this librarian was so proud of this list of books that these kids had to read, all while she was being a racist bitch to the one black kid in the room. And I'm just sitting there mind blown watching all this unfold. You think it stops in elementary school? If they're doing it in elementary school, it doesn't stop. I go into high school. I'm there to judge debate. And the debate room is an English class. English. Do you think your English class could be devoid of political bullshit? Nope. Fucking posters on the wall of all sorts of anti-white shit about natives and about blacks and about gays. I'm just sitting here going, is there nowhere safe from this bullshit? You think it ain't fucking just college?
It's definitely not.
It's the entire system filled with low IQ women. Seriously, go read Freakonomics. One of the things that happened as a result of feminism, and I'm 100% for opportunity being for women in the workplace. But one of the problems that occurred, and by the way, also my grandmother and my mother are educators, so fucking come at me. But one of the things that happened is as more and more career paths opened up, you had an intellectual void get created. Because the most motivated women pre all these new opportunities, the most motivated, most intellectual women went into nursing and education. But as more and more opportunity opened up for them, specifically in the educational world, that became the burial ground or the opportunity for the least intelligent out of all of them. And you watched a drastic negative occurrence occur in our educational system. They're the most easily manipulated, most easily sucked into left-wing bullshit. And it's not me saying this. It's 2 award-winning economists that study this. So go read Freakonomics and take it up with them. But it's the entire educational system. And I guarantee you all the seeds were sown. I've watched it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just know, even kind of outside a political bias, like I just know, like on my wife's side of the family, they have a lot of teachers, like her sister, her mom is in the school system, her grandma's was a teacher for decades. I think her grandma's take is the most interesting, but even all 3 of them say the same thing about how they're all elementary school and how like discipline has evolved over the years and the way that they have to skirt around problems instead of addressing problems. It almost like makes my blood boil by how soft we're making like these kids.
Yeah.
And that's in addition to this political bullshit that gets pushed.
Yep.
But it's like we're raising the weakest possible generations to come.
Absolutely.
And with that, it's like they're more likely to be influenced.
Well, yeah, let's hit
by
on
bullshit.
that, right? Because this guy, Simon King, on my social media feeds, wants, he makes this whole video about how, you know, the left wing calls us beta and cook, or the right wing calls us beta and cooks, and talks about how weak we are and how in a civil war we would lose. Yeah. And yet then they're claiming we're the ones committing all the violence and killing these people. I mean, yeah, what do you think weak people do? That is a strong man. One of the signs of a true gentleman is somebody that can allow others to have space and to have voice. And you don't do that because you're too weak and you don't have a choice in it. You have the strength to be able to stand your ground in your opinion. You're strong enough to allow other people space. That is strength. That is Charlie Kirk. He was strong enough to allow all the people that dissented with him to come up first in line, to give them a mic, to give them a platform. That's what he was doing. And then I love these people who want to talk about how Charlie Kirk was some professional, decade-trained debater that went around and used all sorts of like tricks to make his opponents look bad. Really? On the college campuses of the most elite intellectuals. And he did it. Sure, he died at 31. But even at 31, who did he give the mic to? Not just the students, not just they claim, oh, he just used dumb 19-year-olds. No. Go back and watch his videos. Professor after professor after professor went toe-to-toe against this guy. And he didn't just do it at 31. He started at 18 years old. So he was doing this at 18, 19, 20, 21, all the same ages as the college students, and still going toe-to-toe against the professors. And he just didn't do it there. He did it on the floor of fucking Oxford. You can't compete because his truth was grounded in reality. Your truth is made up on the fly, on however you feel and want to feel. And that's why you lose every intellectual debate there is. It's why white supremacists lose and turn to violence. It's why one of the best stats I ever saw. This actually literally got me in a fist fight. I was like 19 years old. I'm in this apartment with like 3 other guys, and one of them and I did not get along. He was from Montana. He was like your typical all-American jock, and I'm a typical nerd. And I think I weighed 140 pounds, and he weighed like 210. It was, I was not the smartest.
Little mismatch.
It is a little bit of a mismatch. And he makes this comment, and he, for some reason, I'm not even having a conversation with him, and he butts into my conversation, and says something to me. He's like, "Oh, it's like a 3rd grade." And then I make a comment back. He's like, "That's a real 3rd grade comment." I'm like, "Well, when I'm talking to somebody that's a 3rd grade intellect, I use 3rd grade terms." And he goes, "I could snap you in half." And I'm like, "Well, you do know that 80% of the time in a spousal abuse relationship, it's when the man can't compete on an intellectual, verbal level with the woman, and so he has to resort to physical violence." I've never seen 200 pounds move faster in my life. And next thing I knew, one hand's around my throat, one's in my crotch. I get picked up out of this couch and just body smashed to the ground. But that's what happens, right? Domestic violence occurs. White supremacy occurs. Left-wing ideological violence occurs when people lose the ability to reason and argue, and yet their brain is so entrenched in their ideology that the only thing they have left to do is react violently.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you'll see, this goes outside politics, but you'll see anytime there's like some kind of argument or disagreement, it's like the person who starts like raising their voice first is usually the one losing the argument.
Absolutely.
And then same thing with violence. Like if you're just like having a conversation and then it turns into violence, usually the person who starts the fight is the one who is losing the conversation. They might end up winning the physical fight.
Yeah.
But they definitely, like, you don't start a physical fight after a conversation if you're winning. Because you're winning.
You're winning.
Why would you stop talking? Why would you beat the hell out of someone else if you're already winning the argument?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And why would you shoot someone if you had a greater point? So,
yeah. Yeah. Anybody can set up a tent on a college campus and talk to people. Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah. Yeah. If Tyler Robinson thought he had such a solid viewpoint on the world, like he could have, there's nothing stopping him from taking the same path as what Charlie Kirk did.
There's nothing stopping any of them.
Yeah.
But this is one of the most interesting things, and I think it goes, so I've really been on a journey since my divorce over the last 3 years of really trying to like learn some things, like blind spots that I feel like I had in like communication and understanding relationships, all this kind of stuff. And I was reading this book. It's really incredible. It's called I Am. And one of the things that it talks about in there is that the key determination of your success in life and how happy you are is your locus of control. And the locus of control for people is either outside of them or inside of them. And if your locus of control is outside of you, then you believe life is happening to you. But when your locus of control is inside of you, you believe that life is for you, right? And so one is the victim mindset. And it's so rampant among a significant portion of people on the left today. You watch the Jubilee with Patrick Bet-David. They are all victims. They can't get a job. They can't get the right job. They can't this. They can't that. They are absolute victims. The locus of control exists completely outside of them. I just think that's the ultimate sin of left-wing ideology, that you're a victim. There's a system of oppression. There's all these microaggressions. When you look at what these two people did, Charlie Kirk believed the locus of control was within him and within everyone. And that's why he took the platform that he did. He saw something at the age of 18, and he went to a guy that he viewed as a mentor, Foster Freeze, and Foster wrote him his first check for 10 grand to get TPUSA started. And that was like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, somewhere like that. But when you believe that the locus of control is within you, what do? You do what Charlie did. If it's financially, what do? You start a business. You find a way to be of value, to earn money. When the locus of control is within you and you're overweight, you go to the gym, and you eventually end up looking like you. Jeez.
Yeah,
right?
You take action to better your own life.
Yeah. When the locus of control is out of you, you allow a herd of you to get gathered together on the Oprah show and talk about how the system of oppression doesn't allow diets to work with you the way it does with white women. When the locus of control is outside of you, you can't go speak and compete in a debate, so you shoot and murder someone. You fist fight people. You gather together in a mob and vote to steal money from someone to create a program to care for you. And I really think that's the differentiator between right-wing and left-wing ideology. I truly believe the left-wing ideology is the locus of control is outside of me. I'm a victim, that I cannot succeed in the system. There's all these microaggressions. There's all these systems designed. The freeways are racist. Front lawns are racist. Everything's fucking racist. Or like, how many women are still out there claiming that there's a wage gap? There's more women in college, and single women make more money than men. In fact, I saw a really interesting chart. The wage gap is strictly married men. Why? Because we have weight. We have weight on our shoulders. We have responsibility. And men thrive under weight. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like that just instinctual at that point.
Absolutely. Let's go back to our list of things and see what's... Oh, so here's another thing. I love this. Why was BlueSky created? What was the rationale? Why were they all told to go to it?
All because of the big baddie, the big bad boogeyman, Elon Musk and X.
And what did Elon allow to occur on X?
They view it as him basically almost like what we've been, yeah. They basically claim it's like him promoting one side of political views and not the other.
Oh, but it was way more extreme than that, because they don't ever just say something that milquetoast, do they? What was Elon perpetuating on X? And here I'm going to dead name X for a second. What was Elon perpetuating on Twitter?
Well, I mean, probably
hate speech. A whole campaign when he took over to force people into pulling their advertisements from it because your ad was going to be right next to hate speech. Hate speech. Nazis. And what did BlueSky have to warn their users to do?
To not celebrate.
Not celebrate someone being fucking murdered, you hate speech fucks. How's it going for you being on BlueSky?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty nasty. And I just think it's funny to me because they're switching from X to BlueSky.
They just want they just want their own platform to do hate speech on.
Well, exactly, and because like X still has every political view, every view out there on it, but I don't think you could name me a single conservative that actually uses BlueSky.
Of course not.
Like it would almost be like the liberal presence on Truth Social, but like.
Yeah,
but like
look,
I think it's hilarious that people act like X isn't like a free speech platform.
Yeah, it's like me watching MSNBC. There's only one reason I'm on there, because it's wildly entertaining as shit. I mean, it is the dumbest collection of humans ever assembled and put on the air, and it is wildly entertaining.
Yeah, they're pretty out there.
Holy shit, and it's fantastic. It is great fun.
Every time I'm in the car with you, that's always what's on the radio. It's just, I'm like,
I'm the one person.
I thought you were joking about listening to this shit.
No, it is the best shit ever. It is like, I mean, you just can't even like, you could, look, before you go listen to MSNBC, just try and think, and even go to like ChatGPT and be like, what would be the most insane position to take on this topic? And then tell ChatGPT, I want you to take that and magnify it by 10. I want you to take that and do it by another factor 10. I want you to take that and do it by another factor 10. And then go listen to MSNBC, and I guarantee you couldn't have even come close.
Yeah. Yeah, they always have a way to surprise you.
Yeah, like, and I called it. I called it with Matthew Dowd, because he went he went right on MSNBC. In response to Charlie Kirk, blame Charlie. Oh, well, when you foster an environment of hate, this is what you get. And I was like, oh, that fucker's toast.
Yeah, I don't know what he's expecting. Like, you can't just like, I mean, we live in America. You can really say whatever you want, but at the same time, like, you're not going to keep your job by doing that.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Does nobody understand what the Bill of Rights is for? I don't think, because our school systems are so shit, I don't think anybody understands what the Bill of Rights are for. The Bill of Rights are free to protect you against the government.
Exactly. Yeah.
To protect you against democracy. Democracy is the rule of the mob. We are not a democracy. We were never supposed to be one. We are a constitutional republic. The Bill of Rights is protected from the government. Free speech, yes, you're allowed. The government cannot stop you from saying something, which is why it was such a crime when the Biden administration was coordinating with social media platforms in order to prevent speech. That is a violation of the First Amendment. You know what else is another violation of the First Amendment? During the Obama administration, leading up to the midterms, when the IRS refused to allow people that applied for 501c3s to be political action committees. And under Lois Lerner, the IRS prevented over 500 of them from getting formed in time to be able to be politically active for the midterms. That is a direct violation of the First Amendment on behalf of the government. Your workplace shit-canning you for being a moron is not a violation of free speech.
Definitely not. Just the same way as, like, if you're going to say some crazy shit on the internet or in person, you know, you can end up losing friends for it.
Absolutely.
Because just because you have a First Amendment right to say whatever you want doesn't mean there's not going to be any consequences. It's like the same thing. Like, you can say whatever you want, but, like, you know, your words still have consequences the same way as your actions have consequences. So you can't just, like, expect to say whatever you want and then nothing happened to you.
Yeah, but see, the left is
claim
the left,
you're protected.
The left will, but that's what the left said about Charlie. Well, you can't say whatever you want and not expect to get shot. No, you can't say whatever you want and not expect to lose friends and lose jobs. You should be able to say whatever you want, anywhere you want, and not get punched or shot. Right? Like, isn't there's like, is this not hard to comprehend and understand? It is for half the country for some reason. mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think just in my mind, it just seems like common sense that there's certain lines to draw, like as far as like employers. Like if you're ever celebrating the death or promoting violence on innocent people, it just, to me, that just seems like a no-brainer for you at least to be possibly shit can. Like it's different if you're working at a company and you talk about some of your political beliefs, but it's like peaceful. You talk online about, your involvement in the LGBTQ community. Like that's cool, whatever, that's cool. But as soon as you start celebrating like the death of an innocent person, or you say something as like senseless as saying that he deserved it, or you feel no, sadness for it, it's like, that's pretty fucked up.
Yes.
And I think people have the right to be uncomfortable with that, because that's pretty fucked up. Because like if you're working with someone who is so mentally gone that they are happy with Charlie Kirk being dead, then that means half the people they work with, they wouldn't mind if they get killed too, because half the people they work with actually really support Charlie Kirk and share all the same views. Like Charlie Kirk wasn't saying anything that I disagree with. And so by that logic, should be fine if I get killed.
Yes. All right, so let's do a compare and contrast to some things here real quick, okay? Because one of the things we get told all the time is that Donald Trump dehumanizes people, groups of people, and calls people names and incites violence, right? So you have things, Sleepy Joe, Crooked Joe, Slow Joe, Hillary Clinton, Crooked Hillary, Nasty Woman, Ted Cruz, Lion Ted, Low Energy Jeb, Mini Mike, Denang Dick.
Lots of names for Rosie O'Donnell over the years.
Yeah. Right? Crazy Kamala, Laughing Kamala, Lion Kamala, Goofy Elizabeth Warren, right?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. All right, now let's get into some other things. Immigrants, undocumented, he said, they infest the country, speak about illegal immigrants. This is one of the things I love in the media. They always leave the word illegal out, right? And try to make it out as if he's anti-immigration, right? He said they infest the country, said some commit murder, bring bad genes in the country, said they're bringing their worst to the people. They this is what I love. Blames the radical left for violence without evidence. That's from The Guardian. Yeah, I think the evidence is right in front of all your lying eyes. Referred to Senator Schumer as a Palestinian. Okay. All right, now. I'm not saying any of that's right. Right? It's definitely lowering the language. But now, what do you have on the other side of it? And this is what I found to be really interesting. I talked about this before he got elected the second time. Nazis, fascists, threats to democracy, the single greatest threat to democracy. And this was my question. And it happened, like I said, when was the election? What is it? 2025 is 2024. Jeez, it's not been that long, has it?
Yeah, it's coming up on a year. It's 10 months ago.
I asked all, and I do have a pretty wildly large group of left-wing Democrat friends. And we do talk about these things. I said, explain to me something. Your leadership and you believe that Donald Trump is a Nazi, that his followers are Nazis, that they're fascists, that his followers are fascists, that he's a threat to democracy, that we are a threat to democracy. You believe that January 6th was the world's least armed insurrection of all time, right? You truly believe this to your hearts. You say it all the time. So tell me why your leadership would promise that if Trump is elected, that they're going to peacefully transfer power to him. You're telling me he's the single greatest threat to democracy and that he's a Nazi and that his followers are Nazis, and yet you're going to peacefully transfer power to him. Would it not require you to take up arms? You want to sit here all the time and talk about, are you one of the Germans that would have turned a blind eye to the wholesale slaughter of the Jews? Are you one of the Germans that would have reported your neighbors for helping them the way you did during COVID? Are you one of the German, right? They're always doing this. And yet you're telling me you would have handed power back to Hitler without a fight. That's what you're, either that or you, so this is, and I've said this before on there, one of my favorite things to do when somebody's lying to me, and I know they're lying to me, is I just tell them you're either lying to me or you're admitting you're fucking stupid. And I'm going to let you pick which one of those two things you'd like to be. Because right now you're either a liar or you're stupid. I don't know which one you prefer, but it's got to be one of the two. And so if your leadership and you believe that Trump is Hitler and that he's a Nazi and that he's the single greatest threat to democracy, and then at the same time you tell me you're going to hand the power to him, should he be elected, you are either lying or what? You're stupid, you're a pussy, you're not willing to stand up for what you believe because you're telling me you believe this. Yeah. And then what really is the worst part of it all is they're just user leeches. I don't even know what to call them. They're manipulators because what they did is they spin up the Luigi Mangelonis. They spin up whatever the fuck this guy's name is.
Tyler Robinson.
They spin them up and they get the minions. They get the minions, the mentally unhinged and the dumb. They spin them up and get them to carry out the acts of violence for them. Because if they truly believed their own bullshit, they'd be the ones out there taking up arms and rallying people to keep Trump out of the White House. They wouldn't just let him in, would they?
Yeah, it just goes to show that maybe it was just rhetoric.
Yeah. But these brain dead nutbags believe them. And they can't see that their own leadership's not willing to take up a gun, so why are you? Right? Yeah. Shouldn't that be a question? If your leadership is not willing to take up arms to defend the insane shit they're saying, maybe you shouldn't either. Like, how do you know you're being lied to? Well, because they're willing to hand the government over to them.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good point.
Well, I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, I think that's just an example of them not being dumb, but just lying to themselves, lying to
They have to be.
the country. Because clearly Trump isn't actually the biggest threat to democracy. He's not a Nazi. He's not.
Because if he was, you wouldn't have let him in.
Yeah. Like if he actually was the things that you say he is, you do more than just let him in and then impeach him 2 weeks later. Or in this case, now they got to wait a little bit longer. But
yeah, because as soon as Democrats, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, we got to wait till maybe next year.
I mean, seriously. So here, we need a over-under on how many times the Democrats can fail to impeach Trump. So we've got 2 in the can already. As soon as they take the House of Congress in midterms, they can start again. And I please pray they're gonna.
Yeah, no, I put it at like 2.5 over.
2.5.
And
yeah.
I would take the over.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm hoping they go for 4. I'm hoping, I don't know what it'd be. They just come up with something new all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they can.
I want Trump's record on Super Bowl rings. I want him to have that. Trump. Oh, okay. I think I might be at Mar-a-Lago in December. I got your next thing to make and sell. Instead of Super Bowl rings, we need Trump impeachment rings.
That'd be dope. I like that.
Right? And you could wear them as the Democrats impeach you. You could get a new ring for each impeachment. And there'll never be a president with more impeachment rings. I'm a genius.
Man, that's I expect to see that on the Trump store pretty here soon.
I'd buy one for every impeachment.
Yeah.
And I want them just like the Super Bowl, the big
damn right.
gold, diamond encrusted.
Yeah, the big ones that just fucking sit big on your
finger. Right. And then you take whatever it was they were impeaching you on, you engrave it, into the ring, right?
Whatever stupid shit.
Yeah, whatever stupid shit it is, right? And then whoever was like in charge of the House at the time, Pelosi, wasn't it? You have a little engraving of her, maybe her name, and
it's a good idea.
Yeah. Because not only is Trump 2-0 against women running against him for president, he's 2-0 against impeachments.
Undefeated.
I
like that.
Oh, jeez.
Now we got the next business idea right there.
That's right. Here, I'll head up the ring making business if you want. All right, so how about all the people getting shit canned? We talked a little bit about it, right? You don't have the right to whatever. How many people, do you know how many we're up to? I've seen different numbers from 2,300 to 4,300.
Yeah, I've heard somewhere in the thousands, and I would assume that would continue to tick up. I do know, and I'm in favor of that. I do know one thing that the right is very much against is though this just Pam Bondi in general. A lot of people don't like Pam Bondi.
I think people are misunderstanding what she's talking about.
I agree with that because I have this clip here and she's saying, "Oh, we're gonna come after you for hate speech," and I can get why people are mad about it. And like, I don't think
they're coming out after individuals for it. Oh, go ahead. You saw Babylon.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I saw a Babylon Bee article, and it is true. Like, it's like, she's basically doing, like, Charlie Kirk dies, and now she's doing exactly the opposite of what, what Charlie Kirk would have wanted.
Not shooting anybody.
Yeah. Like, because, Charlie Kirk would have been in favor of having that speech out there. And so people are not so happy with Pam Bondi for the rhetoric that she's now speaking, saying that, we're going to come after you for hate speech. Because it is
there is no such thing as hate speech.
Oh, exactly. Because it's a real, exactly. What does it mean? Because, like, what one person sees as hate speech to other people, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, the whole racism.
If I say I believe marriage is between a man and a woman, the LGBT community interprets that as hate speech. Right? If I say, you shouldn't allow anybody under the age of 18 to go get their genitals cut off and to take medication that's going to castrate them and mess up their bodies, I'm now committing hate speech against trannies, right? No, I'm not. I'm not saying anything hateful against them. Personally, I don't believe even the use of what everybody calls racial slurs is hate speech.
Yeah, it's just one of those terms, like, there's no way to define it.
No.
Like, I think the only kind of speech that is not okay is when you're making a direct threat on someone else's liberty.
Yeah.
Like someone else's, like, freedom to safety. Like, you can't go out and say you're going to assault someone or kill someone. So then you got a fucking problem because you're threatening someone.
Yeah, and I have to react as if you're a man of your word and you're honest.
Well, exactly. Like, you can't make a threat towards someone and then expect there not to be any problems.
Of course,
because like you said, like if they're threatening you gotta take it seriously.
I tell everybody, you threaten me, I'm going to assume you're someone who is a person of your word, and I'm going to respond appropriately to it.
Yeah.
Read into that whatever you want.
Yep.
Right? No, look. Let's go to racial slurs, right? Let's go to the N-word. If somebody uses the N-word and they're white, does that make them racist? I'd say absolutely not. But now if I walk up to a black person, or even not even if around a black person, but I use the N-word and I use it in a derogatory way towards them, yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? But if I'm white and I make a joke, or I'm singing along to lyrics, or the white girl that was like singing, she posts a video of herself on TikTok or Instagram singing to the lyrics of her favorite song and the N-word's in it, and she uses it, and she's freaking kicked out of college. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's dumb as hell. That's really dumb.
Like, and it's funny because I'm torn on this one. Like, I think the N-word is the one word I'm okay with not anybody being allowed to use in public unless they're black or something like that. I'm not 100% okay with it. I say I'm like 80% okay with it. I don't believe any word should ever be banned from use. Any word. I teach my kids, like, be cognizant of your surroundings and your environment. It's probably best not to drop the F-bomb at church or at your school around your teachers or some shit, right? I don't know why. I mean, I get the church thing. I don't really get the school thing, whatever, right? But just, there's certain environments in which it's best to watch your language.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I give a shit if you swear? Fuck no. Right?
You just got to be responsible.
Yeah, just be if you swear at your mom, oh, no, now we got a problem, right? You swear at me, we got a problem, right? Unless it's like just in conversation. But if you're going to attack me and swear at me, we got a problem. If we're just talking, you swear, I don't give a shit, right? But you probably don't want to do it at school. You probably don't want to do it at college. Probably don't want to walk into a job and be like, yo, what up, fucker, right? You're probably going to have a problem, right? But like, I'm just somebody that doesn't think words should be given power that words don't have. And the left wants to claim words have all this power.
Yeah.
And I do. And actually what's funny is they proved their point. You proved words do. You've called the right Nazis, fascists, threats to democracy, and now people are capping them off. So yeah, words do have power, but like, it's only because we as a society give it to them. And I'm just like, why? Let's stop.
Yeah, I think words themselves don't have much weight. It's just what you're saying that does.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's Bob Vylan?
Somebody.
Oh, the rapper. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. Play that video. That video is amazing.
Yeah. I've seen this guy before.
Yeah, he got kicked out of England or some shit.
Yeah, I've seen this guy before.
No, Africa, wasn't it?
Hell if I know. I just thought this one was
Yeah,
funny.
play the video. It's awesome.
At no point during yesterday's show was Charlie Kirk's death celebrated.
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of shit of a human being.
At no point whatsoever did we celebrate Charlie Kirk's death.
The pronouns was, were.
I did call him a piece of shit. That much is true. But at no point was his death celebrated. If it was, go find me a quote, go find me something that proves that we were celebrating his death.
Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you piece of shit.
You're not going to find it because it didn't happen.
Because if you chat shit, you will get banned.
What did happen is one reporter that bought their ticket online came with the sole purpose of finding something to report, and after I called him a piece of shit and we played a song, they have written that up as a celebration. Not a celebration.
Oh shit!
Isn't a celebration. Wasn't a celebration. Calm down.
I want to dedicate this next one
This guy plays the whole thing.
to an absolute piece of shit of a
This is a
human
great
being.
video. I haven't seen this version of it.
The pronouns was, were. Because if you chat shit, you will get banned. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you piece of shit. Oh shit!
It's like everything that you said didn't happen. It just happened in that one like
No.
30-second clip.
All right, I got a prediction to make. He's going to be hired by CNN or MSNBC as one of their news reporters who stands in front of the burning city. I'm here in front of, what was the place in St. Louis?
Which place?
The one place in St. Louis that got burnt to the ground. They're all over. Pick a place. I'm here in front of this peaceful protest. That's that. He's that. He's a CNN, MSNBC reporter.
He's got the gaslighting down pretty good.
Yeah, like, what was that rapper? You caught me on the bathroom floor. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
That's
It's
exactly what he
peaceful.
said.
This is all peaceful. 25 people are getting murdered. It's peaceful murderings. It's peaceful burnings. It's peaceful lootings. We're peacefully murdering, burning, looting. We're not celebrating. This is like a celebration. I'm doing high-step knee exercises. I'm working out, damn it. I'm trying to get my workout in.
There was a
I
passion
just happened
there.
to comment. Oh, why am I gritting? Why is my tongue hanging out of my mouth? I'm really happy working out. This is a high-step knee work. Don't you see that? It's a aerobic exercise.
Yeah, those
Cities aren't burning. It's all right-wing violence. Holy fucking shit.
Pretty wild.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty wild, dude.
Now, okay, let's go to the next one because I think Kid Rock, I agree with him. I don't agree with the wording. I think this is I think you got to start being really careful, right?
So which one should we pull up next?
Mainstream media is public enemy number one.
Okay.
And I would tell you they're public enemy number two. The educational system is public enemy number one. Media is public enemy number two. I just don't think we should call it that.
Here, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick.
All right. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Just hit play.
I think it needs to be echoed until they get it through their fat skulls. The mainstream media is frickin' public enemy number one right now. Just the clips you just ran of these people from the New York Times and these other nut houses they call media establishments. It's absolutely frickin' ridiculous. I mean, and then they say to, Charlie Kirk, God bless him, by the way, his wife, kids, that, he's inciting this, he's inciting that. I'm someone who understands better than anyone as being a very vocal Trump supporter from day one. They've called me a racist Nazi for years now. I mean, go look up a few facts about my life, my children, where everything. But other people start to echo this. Just people who write dumb articles who think, I'm trash and I hate my music, and they say he's just a racist Nazi. And, this starts to build and build and build. So you get these nut house kids who are doing nothing but playing video games, watching these occult movies that are all over our streaming services that won't go outside to play any sports or anything. And, then they think they're going to do something good. I'm going to go kill a Nazi. I'm going to go kill a racist. And they're literally mentally deranged. We need to bring the frickin' nut houses back.
Yeah, you're incentivizing these loner kids to take shots so they can be heroes. And then every time after it happens, kid, they say, oh, we all have to come together. We all have to come to both sides are violent, both sides, and then they just move on and start calling us fascist again.
Well, I've heard a lot of my liberal friends say it, and they're exactly right. Like, you don't want to mess with us people. We have the guns. We know how to use them. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants an all-out war. We understand that everyone on the left is not sick, but there are enough people in the media and enough of these crazy liberals to that just create this big echo chamber. And I'm not saying there aren't crazy right-wingers that do some of this too. There's a little bit of guilty on both sides, but these people, I mean, they're supposed to be this inclusive, this, that, and the other. And they're the ones that don't want to talk and get along with anyone, just don't even want to sit down and break bread. I mean, I'm in this business where some of my friends, people I've had big hits with, call me with this whack out stuff all the time.
Yeah, we got to start listening to each other and respect one another. Is there any message you want to get across real quickly to people that are still vandalizing vigils and celebrating this murder?
Yeah, you're going to keep it up. You're going to run into the wrong people. Yeah. Some people I know.
Yeah.
That aren't going to play that mess, and it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be very ugly.
And we don't want it to get that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just I guess I just don't like the rhetoric on both sides.
Yeah, I think the problem with public enemy number one, right? Like, even to use the word enemy, we're not enemies. We can't become enemies because killing your enemy is okay.
Yep.
Right? So, like, the word enemy can't be used. Now, enemy is not as bad as calling people Nazis. Because, and I'll tell you why. When you call people Nazis or Hitler who are not, you are taken away from the millions of people who were murdered and their families who were murdered by actual Hitler and Nazis. You are devaluing the harms and the sacrifices that were done to those people when you do that. So we've got to stop. You got to stop. And then the threat to democracy. Well, first off, I'm glad to be a threat to democracy. I am a threat to democracy. I do not believe in democracy. We are not a democracy. I don't want to live in a democracy. I do not want to live somewhere where the mob rules, where it's majority rule. That's how you end up with harms being committed to minority groups because they don't have the majority and they cannot stand up for themselves. That's what a democracy is. So I'd love to be a threat to democracy. But when you tell a bunch of brainwashed morons that someone's a threat to democracy, they think they live in a democracy, they think democracies are good, you're creating the same problems as calling people fascists, as calling people Nazis, as calling people enemies. And I think how would you let's take this even out, right? Let's go with the very first thing Trump got in trouble for. Referring to illegal immigrants as not sending the best and the brightest. I don't think there's anything wrong with that comment. Now, is there something wrong with saying that some of them coming over are rapists and murderers?
I still don't see the problem.
You're not saying all people from Mexico are rapists and murderers. Mexicans aren't rapists and murderers. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying that when we don't have a strong border and it's not secure and we don't know who we're letting in, we have no way to vet to make sure that rapists and murderers aren't coming over. I don't think that's a statement inciting violence against Mexicans.
No, it's not. But the issue is that this whole seemingly brewing civil war is the goofiest, like, made up issue we've ever. Like, it's all just like, it's all just because of these echo chambers that fuel this stupid ass rhetoric on both sides. And I still attribute it to the rise of social media, that we're just like getting ourselves all riled up over a whole bunch of fucking nothing. And there's just so much hate being spewed, and also so much of the other side's rhetoric that's being misinterpreted, like almost intentionally, to the point where we are creating hatred for people and groups of people that otherwise wouldn't be there. And it's completely self-inflicted, I feel like. And so, like, I'm not a huge fan of either side. And like Fox News does the same thing as MSNBC does, and CNN does it, and like Newsmax does it, and it's all one and the same. And it's all
because emotion gets eyeballs.
It's all media.
Emotion gets clicks.
Yeah. And like, if one side does it and the other side doesn't, the side that does it's going to win. And there's just money behind it. And you get these platforms, you got, Meta, like we were talking about UnitedHealth earlier.
Yeah.
It's a company. It operates on a profit. Meta operates on a profit. Reddit operates on a profit.
They have to.
All these companies operate on profits. And so that's where the echo chambers come into play, and that's where the hatred comes into play.
Do you know what you get when there's no profit margins? You get the Volkswagen Beetle.
I don't even know what that means.
Really? No. Okay. You remember when all the left-wing liberals were like trading in their Teslas to go buy Volkswagens because Elon Musk is Hitler?
Yeah.
It's like, wait till you find out who started Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So Volkswagen was a socialist communist car manufacturer. It was a car manufacturer that came from a socialist communist country, Germany. Hitler, the Nazis, the National Socialist Party, or whatever the hell they're called, right? And you got the most basic low rent, dumbed down piece of shit vehicle because there's no profit motive. You get the Volkswagen Beetle. You get the Canadian healthcare system. Like, without profit motive, you get absolute garbage. You get Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, Russia. Like, you know.
Yeah, the profit motive, even though, yeah, it's seen as greed as to some people, it's what also drives innovation.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that that sentence from the movie Wall Street, greed is good, somehow got vilified. And it's not greed, actually. That's what's so comical about it. But I was just having this conversation with some of my left-wing friends, right? It's like tyrannical governments are democracies, socialism, communism, theocracies. These are tyrannical governments. And in tyrannical governments, your opportunity is stripped away from you. Your ability to choose what you want is stripped away from you. You know, in Canada, I dated an immigrant from Canada. So I'm not bigoted.
Fair enough.
You can't even choose to go pay with cash. If you don't want to wait the year and a half it takes you to go get an x-ray for your torn ACL or some shit, you're not even allowed to go foot the bill for it. So that's why they come to America. That's why medical tourism, it goes from the north to the south. Nobody's traveling from America to Canada for medical tourism.
Definitely not.
Oh my goodness. All right, what else do we got to talk about today? I didn't really want to get into a lot of this stuff, but I'm glad we did. Oh, yeah. I love Cory Booker. Cory Booker's back. Spartacus.
Yeah. So this Kash Patel in front of the Senate, the Judiciary Committee, and
dude, the Kash Patel and Adam Schiff was good.
Yeah, basically the whole time, at least when talking with the other side of the aisle, it's just completely hostile, which is to be expected. But there's a lot of back and forth. Like Kash Patel and Adam Schiff really went back and forth, and Cory Booker just spent the whole time yelling at Kash Patel, even though it wasn't even Cory Booker's time to speak. And then some other bullshit. Like I don't even know the Asian lady in the city, but she was like complaining about like the FBI making them do a single pull up and calling it harsh. Like
yeah. No,
FBI.
Yeah, right. Well, no, okay. Look, let's get into this too, because I was just listening to an interview with the either like the NYPD captain or maybe the union head or something, and they're talking about New York and all this stuff. And this was, I think this was actually on Fox. And they asked him, they said something about how hard it is to fill the academies. And the guy goes, well, we've recently reduced the number of college credits required, and that's allowed us to get more people in. And I'm like, ooh, that's an interesting one right there. And this is what I love about a lot of what happens, right? Because if I say now that I'm for that, well, I thought you weren't against lowering standards, which I'm not. But I also don't believe in bullshit standards. And I don't believe in college.
Yeah, like tell me why someone with a communications degree is supposedly better than like a high school graduate who's like physically fit and has that work ethic. It's like so silly. And also, I just want to point out, I've never seen a single fitness requirement that was like actually hard. And like
no, it can't be. You know why? Because physical fitness, and I'm not trying to take anything away from what, because I think what you've accomplished is incredible, and I think you look super hot as hell. All right, no homo. Okay,
no homo.
But see, we just committed hate speech against homosexuals.
Yeah, you're right, Dan.
But the one thing about physical fitness is it's literally not rocket science. It is consistent discipline over time. Yeah. That's it. Anybody You could be missing both your legs, and guess what you can still do? Now, if you're missing both legs and both arms, I don't know how much, this,
you get the pass. So
you're going to get the pass, right? I'm even like, if you're down to one limb, I'll give you a pass. But you can lose 2 limbs and still work out.
Yeah.
Right? It might be hard to do squats with no arms.
Yeah. Or
right?
squats.
But you could sit on a bench and have somebody tie in and do like these thingies.
Yeah.
What are those things? Leg extensions. And you could lay on your stomach and do the back ones.
Yeah, the leg curls.
Right? Working out is like, it's literally just consistent discipline over time. Which I don't do. You do. I don't.
Yeah.
And that's why you look like you and I look like me. Right? For all those of you with the left-wing sign in your yard, it's science, which you guys believe in. So why one pull-up is harsh, and why it is pull-ups keep women from, really?
Yeah.
I know a lot of women that can do way more pull-ups than I can. I can't do a single pull-up.
Because I understand, because like that's like part of the argument that was made is like, well, women don't have as much upper body strength. And I get that. But to have a standard of 1 pull-up for a female is not a big standard.
1.
And especially like when you're talking about like high level, like in my opinion, I would think that like any military branch, any law enforcement, so not even high level, just like all law enforcement, all first responders, in this case FBI, should have, it's like a job requirement. Like there's just like certain jobs that have certain job requirements. And if you're going to be in a job that's going to be out in the field.
Yeah. Like, aren't you always stunned when you see a fat cop?
Yeah. Part of what's in the field is just like, you're in the fucking field. Like you got to be able to like move your body.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand you're not going to do fucking pull-ups when you're out in the field, but it's just like basic like strength. If you can't do 1 pull-up, you're either way too motherfucking fat or you're way too fucking weak. Like if you're a healthy body weight and you can't fucking do a pull-up.
It's not about doing a pull-up, right? How many times have you seen a cop get overpowered on the street?
Yeah.
Like, now I understand you can't always be the biggest, baddest, strongest, right?
Well, there's like a certain minimum.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like let's not allow the kid that shot Charlie Kirk whoop your ass as he's running away. Like that guy's got like no definition whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. He's a twig. And that's why he's, using a gun, because he wouldn't be able to overpower anyone.
No. Yeah. Should we, what's something fun we can end on?
Let's see. Well, fun.
Let's do Cory Booker yelling at Cash Patel.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's probably, depending on your definition of fun, might be the most.
I love Cory Booker.
It just, Cory Booker always scares me with like how, I'm like, I don't understand why his eyes are always so wide open. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but like, every time I see him, it's just like, something's like wrong with it. But I'm not going to make fun of him for his looks. I don't think he can control that. It's not like he's trying to keep his eyes open like that. So I shouldn't say that. All right.
Let's watch this.
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is my time.
I follow you on your social media posts that tears this country apart.
To address your falsehoods.
You can try all you want
in this country.
to not take responsibility for what you have said.
Time.
Sir, you're making a mockery of this committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
the
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come?
tell me what my time is. You can't lecture me.
You can tell me my time's over.
You may be charged with the
I'm not going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you.
Mr. Chairman.
Not afraid of you.
Yeah, why will the person in control here not take control?
Yeah, I don't know why he lets it go on so long, because like at this point it is Cash Patel's time.
Yeah, it's Cash Patel's time.
Which, I mean, I understand. Like, I've never seen any kind of government get together where they don't speak over each other. So don't get me wrong. But like, it's just like
somebody should have stepped in long before they did. And I think the guy does eventually. He's like, you all agreed that we're not going to interrupt you, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, you're not trying to shut it down either.
Yeah, that's why I never understand. Because every time I watch these clips of these hearings, it's always just them yelling over each other.
Yeah.
I feel like if like there was like a better rules, at least enforcement rules in place, maybe that would just stop it so we could at least like Let one person talk, let the other person talk, have nothing accomplished.
They should all have bark collars on. And there should be a big panel of switches. And when you interrupt, zzz,
that'd be nice.
Zzz. Dude, I would do nothing but just be like, if I was catching front of it, I'd just be like, all right, Spartacus.
Yeah, just let him think it. Just say that.
All right, Spartacus.
That would actually work probably pretty well.
And then with Ron Johnson, I would use Ron Johnson all the time. It'd be like, you afraid another island's going to capsize over? You worried about Fiji flipping? You worried about Cuba flipping over now? I know you were worried about Guam capsizing. You still worried about that? Yeah. All right, Spartacus. Like I would literally do nothing productive, but just throw all their dumb shit. And like I'd love to like Elizabeth Warren. Be like, don't you is there like a powwow you're supposed to be at right now leading? I thought you were don't you have like a Native American tribe to run? I hear Yellowstone's got casting call open. You gonna go try out for that? Like that's all I would do.
Yeah, I mean it'd be just as productive as what they're doing there.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. Hey, can I get a list of your trades that are coming up this week? My stock portfolio is looking a little weak right now. What trades you got going on? Yeah. I wouldn't answer any of their questions. I would literally just respond with all their insane, horrible shit back at them. That's all I'd do.
Yeah, be equally as productive because every clip I watch just some silly bullshit. It's like they're either yelling at each other or like the pull-up one where it's just like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Actually, you know what would be even better if Cash Patel did when Cory Booker? Be like, refer to me as Spartacus if you're going to talk to me. That's my pronouns. I identify as Spartan cuss. That's Spartacus to you, Cory Booker.
Dumb as hell.
All right, well, I think that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love all the people getting fired. I love all the 54,000 new requests to join Turning Point USA's chapters. And one of the things, just to end on this note too, it has really surprised me, but it's really incredible. And again, I'm going to talk about a personal story. I have a friend of mine has really been through some things with the passing of her father recently and at college and really struggling with all that, right? Comes from a family that was raised in, the parents were from one religion and they left that. And so they were never religious. And I was on the phone with her the other night trying to help her sort through her thoughts as to what she should do with her life right now, whether she should stay in college or not or whatever. And the whole Charlie Kirk thing came up, and she talked about, and I'd seen this online, and I just hadn't had it happen with somebody personally yet, about how much that what happened with Charlie Kirk had turned her towards the gospel of Jesus Christ. And it was just really interesting to me that like I'd seen so many people talking about it, and I'd seen such an uptick in this, and to get to listen to somebody talk about it, like literally share with me their thoughts, the emotions that went into it, and how it's made them think about their relationship with God and with Jesus, and I like to actually get to hear it firsthand. It was really incredible. And I think that that's happening on a massive scale because of this.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I think he had a very good message, and it's a tough time, but that message continues on with even more strength than ever.
Oh, absolutely. I like it's horrible, but it is really neat to get to see in real time a martyr get created.
Yeah.
And it's just this insane outpouring of love, the vigils, the memorials, the people being drawn to Turning Point USA, the people being drawn to church. Like I haven't seen one guy have such a massive impact for good. Maybe my whole life. I thought that Donald Trump with his first election had extended the life of America by like 50 years. And I thought after his second, that might be up to maybe 100. Like there's such a massive shift in culture occurring. And I think what happened to Charlie Kirk just cemented it. So it's really incredible to watch the good come out of something so tragic and horrible.
I agree.
So anyways, with that, this is Elliot.
Nathaniel.
Signing off.